Ladies and gentlemen, are you interested in how to build power brands which connects across the premium spectrum to maximize company value? Mrs. Anna, Marketing Director Heineken, will give us more insightful information about consumers' perspective on what they need from a brand to find it worth paying more. And please welcome Mrs. Anna with her topic. Evolution of premium values from status and safety to experimental and conscious living.
Welcome everyone, I'm Anna Bizon and I'm the Marketing Director of Heineken Vietnam. It's a great pleasure to be a guest speaker during the 10th edition of MMA Impact. When I was invited to speak to you today, of course the first question was, what should I speak about? And during the mobile marketing forum, you would expect probably some discussions about omni-channels, maybe about how to boost creativity using data, maybe about individual data-driven marketing. But this place is also here to share our philosophies and share our experiences. And for me, after 20 years in marketing, I strongly believe that marketing is going and marketing tools are going through evolution of the tools. But one thing, which is always the recipe for winning, is in-depth understanding of our consumers. So yes, I will talk about consumers today. And I will talk about building the power brands. Power brands, we all know the brands which has the sales of over $1 billion per year. But for me, power brands are more than this. Power brands are the brands which, first of all, capture the heart of consumers, which create the demand, the brands which are able to stay forever. But for me, also the most important element of power brands are that those brands are able to command the premium value. And with this topic of building power brands through connecting across the spectrum of premium values, I'm giving a special angle to our consumers. So I will focus on the premium consumers. You can ask why? Because very similarly, like many analytics, financial analytics, I strongly believe that Vietnam will be in the next 30 years one of the top premiumization markets in the world. And not only because all the economic parameters are suggesting it, like urbanization rate, like growing life expectancy, double-digit growth of the middle class happening in Vietnam, strong GDP development. But also when you look at the structure of your society, people are super, super young. So they will develop, they will get their jobs, they will grow the economy. And last but not least, after my 2 years experience in Vietnam, I have never ever lived and experienced the nation, the society, which has such strong drive for a better future, for being a bit better every day and contributing to the development of the country. So all those elements suggest that premiumization will be a big trend in the future. But when we talk about the premiumization and premium consumers, my starting point always is look at the trends, the big economic lifestyle trends happening in the world. Why? First of all, because trends suggest the first societal changes. And of course, trends start with the premium users who are trendsetters, who are early adopters. So what is small today will be leveraged and will grow to the mainstream groups in the long, long future. But before it will go to the mainstream, it will maximize the value among the premium users. And looking at the global trends, we can say, in general, all the global trends are divided in 5 different themes, which together construct 11 macro trends happening in the world. And I will not discuss each of those trends today because we don't have time for it. But when we look at Vietnam, we can say there are 2 trends which are especially important in Vietnam, with a high affinity in Vietnam, and which accelerated during COVID times. The first one is all about conscious living. So people are increasingly more conscious and selective in the choices they do with their brands. So it's not important anymore only that you have a great quality product, but you need to deliver the product and the experience which helps people to take care about their body, about their mental well-being, but also to help take care about the planet. This element is becoming more and more important. So on the other side, the consumers expect more from the products than just great ingredients, great quality, great service. They are really looking for the experiences. So the role of the brands is to deliver the experiences. And the experience is here understood as a kind of a dialogue, of the kind of a touch with a brand. So what brand can deliver me, what will make my life more exciting, what will help me to progress, what will help me to develop. And these two trends are the most visible or with the highest affinity in Vietnam. And to boost those trends, there are two other trends which we can use in our executions. The first one is the local pride. I think it's so obvious that after COVID times, after pandemic, where we were all closed, locked, caged, and where we could observe how our friends, our neighbors, our nation is suffering, we do have this strong drive that we want to support each other more. So it means that everything what is locally produced, that the local pride of your small homeland, these are the small elements which really can boost the products and the experiences and the services you are delivering. And the second one is all about digital connectivity. I will not talk about digitalization because we all know it's a very, very strong trend, but especially during COVID, the digital connectivity, which means socializing through diverse digital platforms, became a strong trend happening in Vietnam market. So moving from trends, let's say one level down, because those trends are the reflection, are the mirror of some changes happening in your society, some changes happening among premium consumers. So I think it's super important to realize how the premium values are changing. In the past, 10 years ago, premium was all about security. It was all about the status. So if the brand was having strong heritage, it has 100 years of history, or maybe it was produced abroad, or maybe it was supported or endorsed by the government, by some important people, and had a high price that was enough for consumers to pay more for your brands. But these values are moving up. So today, consumers expect from you that premium will start to become much more specialty. So you go out of the ordinary. You bring to the market the sense of novelty, the innovation which surprise. You go for limited edition to make them feel unique. The next level is premium as an experience. So premium needs to deliver sophisticated enjoyment, needs to deliver, something what is only for me, which is a special edition for me, which is a special experience, which is maybe co-created together with me. And the highest level is premium as the indulgence. Vietnam today is between speciality and experience. That's where the mass that's where the majority of the premium values are sitting today in Vietnam. But for example, in Europe, in many European countries, premium values means you need to deliver indulgence. And indulgence means you need to pamper my body and my mind. You need to prove that you have a purpose in life as a brand, that you are not here just to earn money. You are here to support the planet, to support the human beings. And this evolution of values, if we understand the evolution of values, of premium values, we are able to answer properly into the needs of our premium consumers. Unfortunately, it doesn't work this way that, okay, so I used to focus on status, now I will focus on experience. No, it goes like this and this and this. So when we look at our, for example, Heineken brand, which is a fantastic premium global brand, in the past, the value which was enough to justify the premium price was great quality, was status, was the fact that it's brewed from 1873, that it's coming from Europe, from Netherlands. But today, the range of other things needs to be added to justify your premium price. And the most difficult part, which I find in it, is that the expectations towards premium brands are that they are not only differentiated, they are different, but they are also meaningful, very relevant, very close to the needs of the consumers. So looking at what are the paths, what are the ways we can build meaningfully differentiated premium brands, I will try to share with you 6 tips, maybe 6 values which are so important for premium consumers, and support them with some examples from the markets. So first of all, premium needs to be more than a product, more than a service. It needs to be the product with experience or the service with experience. And I think Nespresso is by far one of the most beautiful stories how you capture this value. So Nespresso created the coffee boutiques, which are a coffee buying experience. It's not like in the supermarket that you go, you grab the package of coffee and that's it. In those places, you go through the whole range of senses. You smell coffee. They look so beautiful that you cannot stop look around. So this is the way how you can deliver the experience to say more or less coffee, which you can buy in many other places. The other example, I think, of a product with experience, we have in Heineken the appliance which is called SAP. And this is the equipment with which you can serve your own beer at home. This is the same Heineken we serve in bottles, in glasses, we serve in pubs by draft. But here you can do that by yourself. And this insight that almost every premium male wants to have, this moment of life in life when you pour your own beer is super, super strong. This beer is very fresh at the same time, and the appliance also looks super cool, so it is a great decoration to your home. Another example, maybe not example, but another value which is expected from the premium brands. So you need to innovate, and that's clear. But for the premium brands, it's expected you innovate beyond the obvious. So you try to break the codes of your category. You drive your category development. One of the examples is Gordon Premium Gin, the Gordon's Pink, which changed the codes of the gin category, which is in most of the cases dry, transparent liquid, adding a bit of the flavor to it, adding strawberry garnish, and changing the color of the Gordon Gin Pink version. In consequence, they strongly penetrated the premium users. So they just changed the codes of the category with this innovation. Another example is the category which is booming in alcohols from 2019, especially in America, which is called hard seltzers. Hard seltzers are like sparkling flavored alcoholic water. So here they broke the codes of the alcohol category because they deliver something what has still relatively high alcohol content, 5%, 4.55%, but is low on calories, is very light in drinking, is very refreshing. And again, this is the fastest growing category, alcoholic category in many, many Western countries. So innovate, but innovate breaking the rules of your category. The third value, the third way you can address the values of premium consumers is all about co-creation. And I think that's something what we can observe a lot around of us. And you can co-create with your consumers in so many different ways. So here I just brought 2 examples. One example is Cheetos. Cheetos is the brand of chips, which probably you all know. And what Cheetos observed, Cheetos marketing team, that consumers, while eating chips, they create different monsters, creatures out of those chips, and they share it in social media. So they picked it up and they created the museum of those creatures. So it was definitely the content which was generated by consumers, but the brand adopted it to make it one of the most successful social campaigns they have ever had. Another way of creation, here I wanted to share our own example, Heineken Vietnam example. We are just bringing to the market the new variant of Tiger Platinum, which is the edition created by Generation Z. What does it mean created by Generation Z? It means they help us in digital brewing hub to co-create the product. And based on these suggestions, we brought to the market 3 variants of this of the product. And using Lazada platform and using on-trade channels, we allow consumers, especially young generation, to vote for the product which expresses them, which shows their mark, the mark of their generation. The product we are bringing to the market right now, it's Tiger Platinum wheat lager, and I encourage you to try it. It's fantastic, fantastic taste. The fourth layer of engaging with premium consumers in line with their values is about creating emotional connection. More than any other brand, the premium brands needs to engage emotionally. And again, there are so many ways of doing it. I think Nutella is a great example, because what Nutella did, Nutella is a brand about fun, expressiveness, energy, creativity, and they used the algorithm to design 7 million different packs reflecting the energy of their consumers. They even went one step further. Do you remember when I told you experiences try to boost with the local pride? So in Italy, where Nutella is very powerful brand, they created also the local editions of the Nutella. But for me also, the fantastic brand is BTS in Vietnam. And if you BTS team are here, really my chapeau bas, because you do a fantastic job and you are the brand I'm always looking at in Vietnam to learn from. BTS not only co-creates with the consumers, but again also leverages the local culture. The example here is the Hanoi culture patchwork. I think lovely, lovely example of driving the value of your brand through the co-creation. Next value so important for the premium consumers are the experiences. And again, experience is such a broad statement. So what do we mean by experiences? I would say everything what will surprise them, what will make them think, well, like, oh wow, that's cool. Oh wow, that's what I want to experience. Everything what they cannot experience by themselves, and you as a brand bring this value to them. Wanted to share 2 examples. One is the example of the beer brand Desperados, which is the brand all about the party. So the positioning of the brand is "We are the party." And this brand delivers the experiences none of the consumers can have by themselves. So they organize festivals, music festivals in the most unexpected places you can imagine. They organized Zero Gravity Music Festival, which were the festival in zero gravity planes. So you were dancing by losing your gravity and flying in the planes. They organized also the Skyfest, which is the festival in the balloons. They organized also the deepest festival under the water. So these are the big experiences which you will have once in your lifetime, but which really change your perception of the brand. But you can also deliver experiences on a smaller scale. Heineken Music Can. It's one of the examples. We used the AR technology. We used 4 DJs to tailor your name in the audio way. And these experiences which we delivered here to consumers made this campaign one of the most successful campaigns in our history. So small and big experiences doesn't matter. It matters that they are unique and different. And last but not least, the value which is also super important and will be even more important in the next years for the consumers is that you are not there in the market to entertain. You take also responsibility for the problems happening in the society. You take responsibility for the planet. 2 examples here. I think Heineken is very proud of being a responsible brewer. We do care that when people drive, they should not drink. We want everyone to come back home in a safe way. That's why it's very important that we have very, very serious statements. So in our billboards, in our out of home, we use very strong message, don't drink this if you are driving. Another example is the brand called Brewdog, which is brewing the beer in the carbon negative way. So they don't have any negative emission of CO2. The message is even stronger. It's fuck you, CO2. So all in all, the brands have different layers, different spectrums through which they can connect with the premium consumers. But the most powerful brands, they connect across those values. It's not that they focus only on experience or they focus only on purpose. They are able to connect across the spectrum of premium values. And when I think about the brand, which I think is doing it greatly in a fantastic way, is Nike. Because the Nike takes the strategy for the Generation X. What is important are the credentials. It's endorsement of the famous athletes. It's about nostalgia. It's about, it's about the bond more important than performance. But for the Generation Y, the experience is in the core. So when the experience is in the core, they embed a lot of experiences to their marketing and commercial plans. The example is Fearless Virtual Race, for example, which they organize. And for the youngest one, for the Gen Z, for who the co-creation is so important. You can co-create your Nike sneakers, of course, but also they are the ambassadors of inclusivity. They make sure that also the people with the limitations, with some physical limitations, are welcomed by Nike brand. And this inclusiveness is so important for the Generation Z, because it means we take care about everyone in the planet. So I have in the last slides share with you how the premium consumers are evolving, how their values are evolving. And I have shared a few examples how the brands incorporate these values in their commercial plans. But honestly speaking, I really strongly believe that we can understand the consumers perfectly. But if we don't have courage, and if we don't have creativity to really drive the modern marketing, we will not build the powerful brands. So I wish you a lot of courage and creativity to set the new standards of marketing and brand building in your categories. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Mrs. Anna. Everybody, and now we have 10 minutes break. In the meantime, you can visit partner booths in booth area and networking at lounge. And don't forget back to our program after 10 minutes, and then we will start a new session.